Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Certainly one of the most interesting days yesterday, one of the more interesting days in recent weeks. Had a huge rally, there's some profit taking going on now, but Solana is still holding above our breakout point. So that 2680 level now needs to hold after Solana yesterday touched that resistance level and broke. So let's talk about the chart. Let's talk about the latest adjustments on the microstructure here for this chart, and let's talk about possible pullback zones and basically support, bullish support that must hold. So overall, if we zoom in here, we're still tracking a overall bullish scenario that has been the case for many weeks, actually since January 2023. So in this bullish scenario, we did not want price to break below the $12 level because the $12 level is the 78.6 retracement of the larger cycle. You don't want that broken. It would reduce the reliability of this chart. Now, it never broke, so from that point of view, all good, and price also turned around in our trend reversal area. This was the last larger pullback trade setup that we had here on the chart. Since then, price basically doubled. Since then, price has avoided any deeper pullbacks, and we also broke out of this descending wedge, which had bullish implications. We talked about this bullish pattern, okay? I take the alternative of the chart. The alternative was that we do a deeper pullback in this wave 2, basically that we did not have a lasting low in place on the 10th of June, but this was only the alternative, so we take it off the chart now. Certainly not needed anymore, especially not after we broke above the wave 1 high, which has always been here the breakout point really for the larger third wave rally to start. So the assumption has also been that we're already in this third wave, of course, because if the 1-2 setup completes, the idea is that we are in a third wave next. We can also talk about targets again to get an understanding of where this structure should go to. So if we talk about a wave 1 to the upside, measure that, go to the wave 2 low, then the third wave target would take us to 43.70. This is also what I'm sort of watching for a potential target. But obviously there are certain conditions that need to be fulfilled. At the moment we are on our way to that area, but we talk about which support levels must hold that we get there. Okay, now let's zoom in and take a look at the micro structure. I readjusted the micro count here to reflect the latest strong move due to the news yesterday that we had about XRP and the SEC. So in recent weeks, we talked about that we already had a nice diagonal structure here to the upside. I refined it a little bit, now changed the microstructure. This move is certainly something like a third wave. It could also be a larger diagonal. We'll see, but it doesn't matter so much in terms of the relevant support areas right now. Few seem to have been surprised that price just keeps climbing, but as I often say in a third wave, it's just best to focus on the trend. So what we simply do and did over recent weeks was to just track the bullish support, which always did hold, okay? And I always gave you the relevant micro support areas to hold. I have to be very clear here because a lot of people apparently seem to have been, I don't know, disappointed that price was going up or even surprised, which is normal, or frustrated that price did not pull back again. Well, you know, I often say that in a third wave, pullbacks can be shallow. I mean, I really can't say it in every video, but I'm certainly saying it often enough. So in a third wave, what is very important, from an educational point of view, we need to just simply track bullish support, which is what I did over recent weeks. And I always indicated the micro support. So we talked about, okay, look, we focus on higher until here it was 1880 breaks, never broke. We focus on higher until 2050 breaks, never broke. So from that point of view, and also the trend line always held. So I need to be very clear because I saw a few comments yesterday. I mean, I don't focus on them because I know that a lot of people are just zapping around, are not interested in learning TA really. But the point of this trend line, the point, very basics, very much basics. The point of a trend line is to understand when the trend breaks. Now, clearly, the trend line never broke. So you need to wait for a signal if you trade with trend lines, okay? So the trend was clearly up and it broke above the breakout point here, and then we had another breakout point here. So from that point of view, there was never a sign that a pullback had started. So the focus is on higher, very simple trend trading, okay? And overall, we're tracking anyway a bullish scenario from that point of view. The scenario is purely working out. We also talked about that diagonals here can move in unexpected ways. They can move up and down quickly, yeah, and they simply just run until they get exhausted. They don't really have a target. So also here, yeah, that's one reason why we just tracked the support and focused on the trend until it gets exhausted. So just don't be surprised if the chart is simply acting as we have discussed it, okay? So very important that all words in the analysis are important. Yeah, I call it never a top in place for this chart. And now the idea is that we are already here likely in this third of a third wave with the price action from yesterday. And I continue to track bullish support. So the idea is after we broke yesterday above this very relevant breakout point here, 2680, very important. Yeah, we talked about that one because this is the level that, well, Solana broke obviously below it in November, and we had a support area here in October, and much resistance here previously in February, January, and so on. So that was a very important breakout point, and now the key would be for the bulls to hold above it. And first of all, 2680 ideally holds. Yeah, ideally we retest it for support. So let's go to the 1 hour chart. Ideally we retest it for support. And even if it cannot do that, then I would still allow it to come back to the 50% retracement level. But this is the support that now needs to hold. We're already in the support area, yeah, but obviously things happen so quickly. We're quite far away from a distance, right? But this is support that now needs to hold for continuation to the upside. 50%, to track the 50% fib level is a good sign, and is a good way of doing it, right? In this third wave here, okay? So could be that we're already in the fourth wave pullback, but likely one more wave in this third wave is to happen. But this is really very deep micro counting. What is more reasonable is just to track here the fourth wave, and then one more high could take us to that target for the third wave that has been communicated over recent weeks. Yeah, that's my update about Solana. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.